Hey folks, short stream tonight. As starting late here. So I wanted to do a couple of things. I need to check my to-do list. I have figured out the giant attack. I haven't filled up a further hill giant adventure in the ruins, but honestly, I'm going to cross that off because I don't want to over-prepare. I've got multiple layers of adventure before me and needing to have that prepped. I did the Cordy thing. I never gave her a dream. But it was still cool, I think. Did a meditation last session. The mushrooms got to talk. That's the main thing. What else? Alright, a stray arrival scene and the back at Taurine scene. Alright. I'll save these two things. And, I mean, there's nothing I can do with that, so I'm just going to delete this to-do list. Because I am done with it. It's time for some new stuff. Alright. Research bits. Actually, where's that Legend of Varankana? That is the Legend of Varankana. Okay. So I'm using the method from How to Be a Great GM, where you fill in the blanks of someone is doing something, who prevented them, how they succeeded, and, you know, where are those things now? Where are those people now? Are they all dead? Etc. So I have the Legend of Varankana here. You know, maybe I'll leave that in its own section. Maybe I'll make a new section for a new legend, instead of lumping them all together like I did with the dreams. Yeah. I think for now that's what I'll do. So I have some players who are eager to research stuff. So I need to have information on the Netheros. And the Forgotten. I find myself You know, I need to figure out what where I've already written about these people. All right. There we go. So I already have a section on them. So I'm just going to fill that out. Yep. Alright. So I will delete this. Just gotta do a little bit of maintenance. Alright. So I need some lore pieces. Are incredibly rare and dropping in to say howdy. Hi, Lion Nation. Hey, my friend. How you doing, bro? Ah, that reminds me. I need to put in the lore that you sent me. That's an important thing I need to do. How's life over by you? Can't complain. I'm opening up your text messages. I need to transfer them into my notes document here. Wait, how did you send it to me? You didn't text it to me, did you? Did you email it to me? Oh, you Discord chatted it to me. That's right. Alright. Samson's backstory. Spent many years researching history, the Kingdom of Ebb, and its downfall, but basically to no avail. The histories that are never recorded or erased. Yes, it was. It was. Something that has still not been revealed. Found huge books with only a few pages ripped out. Or just gone. Parents were infants. My great grandparents died in Ebb. The only remaining artifact. Of course, I'm freely editing this as I go. Didn't quite get the chronology right. Yeah, it's cool. My made up chronology for my game. This is the old Empire. This is the 2,000 years ago Empire, not the more recent one that fell only almost 200 years ago. Only almost. Nobody knows what it means. I play with the locket nearly every night. As we discussed, only 3 different series of moves, which caused it to turn and transform into a suit of armor, a butterfly, and a pyramid. It was a suit of armor when I died. I know there must be more ways and configurations I can lock. Right, that was the It was the mage armor, and butterfly, it let you levitate, and pyramid gave you bonus HP. Decided to leave the research and university life because I finally had a lead. A relatively modern tome and a mention of a professor who was able to translate ancient Ebb. Ooh. And was an expert on its history. He was fabled to have even journeyed there to study the ruins for archaeological purposes. I recognized his name as an active professor in Arcany. Yeah, this is good stuff. This is all written by my wonderful player, Leo. Conflicted about leaving, I felt a force calling me and forcing me to lead and seek out this man and more information. I couldn't explain what the feeling was, I just knew something out there needed me to learn about it and I had to go. Only to wish yourself into a bit of a predicament and end up in the big research station in the sky. Alright, that's good stuff for me to have on hand, because I might need that in a hurry if the players decide to look into... Well, I know one of the players has a very strong interest in looking up what was going on with Samson and his research. Feel free to keep whatever you want, of course. Don't want to throw off anything. The part of the ankle tattoo is the most retcon that I did. Kind of made it up after the fact. Well, sure, why not? Alright, the lore pieces about the Nethros are incredibly rare and hard to come by. I'll say, so the Nethros are actively, rather than the blank pages in history books and wiped hieroglyphics, like the great unmaking caused for Ebb, the Nethros rip out pages and burn books about them. They unhesitatingly murder anyone who talks about them too much. They're inspired by the Chandrian from the Kingkiller Chronicles. Which character wants to investigate my locket? The Dragonborn, Krimfinstall, or Krim for short. Next time you come in and play a game, Leo, we're going to have you play in a different campaign, because I think you're probably absorbing too many spoilers for this one. That's one who gave me the Deck of Many Things. Yes, Haley. Haley was like, hey, I'm afraid to draw a card, but you do it. And save us. And Samson sought ever greater power. The fool. few pages blanked, as if magic prevented me from getting the information I needed. Alright. You'd be surprised what I'm capable of not remembering. Yeah, but see, if it came up in game, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, right? Basically, all I know is there's a big conspiracy with a lot of connected lines. One connects Balvroxos and the cult guy. Well, see, there you go. I don't know what cult guy you mean, actually. This is probably too small to read on stream. Alright. Alright. They are called the Netheros because they travel through mystic stairways, mystic roads, deep down below the world. That, there lies the plane. The plane, the demiplane. There lies a demiplane where they can hide from the gods themselves. And that's what... This is the big spoiler for the whole game. So if any of my players are listening, you shouldn't listen to any of this stream, but especially not this. And that's what they need, because they wish to alter the world to create an eternal empire in the Wildlands. One which the Cycle Pantheon will not or cannot destroy. Scarred Earth Cult, oh, they're not even connected, see, I know nothing. Yeah, well, see, there you go. But I recently had a thing where a player was trying to watch some of my streams without getting spoiled, and accidentally got a big spoiler, like the single biggest spoiler for their personal character storyline. Alright. Legend pieces. So instead of writing out a whole legend for this, I'm going to create some bits and pieces, some dribs and drabs of information that the players can find or perhaps research. And without giving away the game. So I'm going to grab some made-up book titles. From my favorite, fantasynamegenerators.com. Wolf of Destruction. That's kind of cool. Maybe instead of wolf, I'll say Tales of Destruction. Volume. Has an entry marked. Has an entry for the Netheros, but the pages, those 3 pages in the middle of the 200-page book have been neatly sliced out. Thanks for that idea. I'm stealing that and using it for this bit. All right. Human and giant relations mentions that how long ago was Tales of Destruction Volume 2? I need a year to kind of make this work. Dated year 78 of the Wilds. So these are bits of the legend. Some legends I've written out completely. But for this one, this is a secret. This is a very secretive legend. So instead of writing out the whole legend as I did in several instances, for this one, I am just putting these little hints at what's going on. And in this case, it's the absence of information that is the clue. The story of the giants can be as secret to us humans as the Netheros. What else? Something about ashes of the Empire. Several pages missing, but one line. This will probably be based. How many pieces I give will probably be based on the DC. Be based on the role achieved. Like this would be like DC 10 history. Or research check. This will be not too much higher. DC 12 history. I'm not going to give any of this straight out because these are in my notes to myself. But one line at the end of a chapter still remains. This is not to say that atheists cannot exist for even in the times, or even in times of great demonstrations of power from the gods, there still are madmen and fools. There are those who have stated their lack of interest in the great cycle, such as those known by the name for below. That would be a much higher DC. Let's make something in between. Something around 15. Okay. This is dated this probably follows a different calendar. This is an old book. Of Her Majesty. Did I have an Empress? swear I created a female emperor for the Vei Empire. Not sure if... It might not be in this document. If that's the case... Might be here. Don't think so. The unknown emperor. That's not particularly helpful. Wait, there it is. There it is. L'empereur. What would be it in French? L'empresse? L'empereuse? Solène IV. Actually, this book would be written in another language. Just to make it even harder. Written in Vei Common, aka French. Her Majesty Solène. Majesty the Empress Solène. The reign of Her Majesty, the Empress Solène IV. I don't think you say Majesty for emperors. What do you say? Grace? Address an emperor with... How do you refer to an emperor? Imperial Majesty. Google has the answers. Alright. Oh. I just noticed, Yosher Z. Thank you so much for following. You're awesome. Yoshers. No, you're awesome. Whoever you may be. I don't think I'm gonna keep writing the word history. Alright, so what's the DC 15 lore bit? Maybe there was a fire. A fire in... I guess, should it be older? You're 7. 7? 7? 70. I'm questioning that because I'm trying to set up a pattern. 173. Be interesting if is the number 173. I wonder if we could set up a pattern of these bad guys coming out of their hiding place over the years. So I know they're out in 176 and 173, and then I can change these years. And if it's every 3 years, I don't think that's enough of a span of time. Numeric patterns and gameplay mechanics, Kabbalah Humbug. Welcome, man with no screen name. Good to see you. And I like that. Good one. Numerology. What's the thing where you have the number, word numbers in Hebrew? It's not numerology, is it? No. It starts with a G. I can't remember right now. I'm not doing that. A fire, I have to say. Year 7 of the Wilds. Actually, how old? Maybe year 7 of the reign of the last emperor, Louis the 7th, destroyed a book of children's rhymes that included I'm going about this the wrong direction. There was a book of children's rhymes that included a limerick warning of the Netherose, but a fire in your 7 in the reign of the last emperor, Louis the 7th. Everything's 7s. Okay. Destroyed it. Like stirring the clay that would make a golem, I'm awed by the density of my own mysticism pun. I like it. Yeah. Kabbalah Humbug. It's a good pun. We all know you're the acknowledged master. Alright, so that's 4 pieces of lore. DC 10, DC 12, DC 15, and DC 20. That's pretty good. I need a year for this one. feel like this is a more recent work. Dated year. Are we going to do another one with a 7 in it? No. Well, no. Although that would be an interesting red herring. Alright. What would a really crazy high DC info be? I'll make one more. One more DC 30. Almost impossible. A nat 20. A natural 20. You got totally lucky. What could it say? Oh, how about their elemental nature? Alright, let's get another random book. This is all from the library of Ibu Gruger. Glorious Rebellion. A banned book that belongs... a banned book during the time of the Veye Empire. This is going to run on sentence, but I don't care. That belongs in the restricted section. Oh! Look at that! Huh. Yoshers, thanks for the cheer of 5 bits. I think that's the first time anyone's ever cheered on the channel. Did it do something cool? Tell you what, I'm gonna put on the hat just for that. Had 5 bits, never cheered before. Well, thank you so much for using them on me, Yoshers. There we go. It's a little warm for the hat, but well worth it. Thank you so much. Thanks for supporting the stream. It is a fantastic hat. I usually wear it when I'm streaming, but I don't know. I wasn't gonna bother tonight, but now I will bother. Thank you. Where was I? That's so cool. It's my first bits. Okay. Glorious Rebellion. A banned book during the time of the Veye Empire. I'll call it rebellions, plural. It's about not just one rebellion. Glorious Rebellions, a banned book during the time of the Empire that belongs in the restricted section. And is written in what language? Should it be in Veye Common? Or should should it actually be in another language entirely? Elvish. It's a very rare book. It has an entry that reads, you speak even in hushed tones of the great rebellion of those who dwell below and call themselves by the name of Netheros. If you speak, even in hushed tones, of the great rebellion of those who dwell below, and call themselves, those who dwell below, those who hide themselves below, and call themselves by the name of Netheros. Yet their rebellion must be one of great importance and auspicious portent. Is that redundant? For they have gathered unto themselves many secret cults and organizations across the free-spirited lands. I'm trying to turn this into a kind of a coded speech. Great is their power, and though little is known of them, they can be recognized by their elemental signs. Earth, the hollow. Air, the kills on sight. Water, the whisperer. acquire the... what is it? The Defiled? Yeah, the Defiler. Oh. Wow, my mouse just got sad. That's fun. These 4. Take great care lest their intent be broadcast and known to others. Therefore, let these pages be silent. Upon that subject. And support a glorious rebellion. So I'm playing, this is very hard to get, but if they get it, it's definitely going to play into the theme of the game. My mouse just got sad. Happens to me all the time, says Yushers. It just started happening to me. I hope it's not a sign that my computer is dying. That would be really awful. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. It's not a lot of information. Unless you get the DC of 30. I don't think this is too much information. The thing is that even if you give players many clues, they don't usually pick up on something unless it's directly like a threat to them. Players are always very sensitive to anything that's like a threat to them, often seeing danger where none exists. But they don't tend to pick up on anything else. If something has an implied threat or dislike of them, they are quick to want to kill it and figure that out. But if something isn't directly against them or related to them, they usually don't pick up on that. Unless you have multiple obvious clues. It's always good to apply the rule of 3 whenever you are laying down clues that you want the players to quickly pick up on. Alright, that was pretty good. So those are some little bits and pieces, some dribs and drabs, and then more can come later. This is really just in the short term for this major legend, because I know one of the players is very close to her, important to her backstory, so I know she's gonna be researching this. But what about a player who has something that might be a little, some information that might be a little bit more available? So the Forgotten. So the Forgotten are, the Hollowing. Battle between Swordwings and the Scarred Earth Cult. Galak the Hollow's gift to followers of the Obscure. That's an interesting note I wrote to myself a while back. Let's see what else I've got. The Crown of a Forgotten King, a Forgotten Paladin. Okay, apparently I use that word pretty often. A Cape of Forgotten Thoughts. A Forgotten Pit of the Shadowfell. Alright, so the Forgotten. I don't have an entry for them as of yet. So I'm creating one now, and their legend is going to be based around, I guess their creation was the Hollowing. I'm going to move this up and turn that into a bit of lore that I can give to players. So I don't... Alright, so we need to answer the following questions. For any legend, who was trying to do what? This is suggested, I'm kind of inspired by How to Be a Great GM YouTube channel. One that I enjoy. And I don't mind mentioning him. So who was doing what? Who was trying to stop them? And where are they all now? How do they succeed is an important one. So who was trying to stop them? How do they succeed? And where are they all now? So we have had many battles between the Swordwings and the Scarred Earth Cult over the years. One of the truly terrible ones was the Hollowing. The Hollowing. I don't think I wrote... Some of the older stories, less filtered for young Aarakocras, so the Swordwings are an Aarakocra knightly order. Or a knightly order of Aarakocras. Less filtered for young Aarakocras, the Scarred Earth Cult had some pretty horrifying defeats of the Swordwings, including a battle called the Hollowing. The Swordwings who fell in that battle rose again, but changed. And join some other organization whose name I will whisper to you now. So this is a spoiler alert. What the players don't know is that the Scarred Earth Cult is a cult that serves one of the Nethros, and that's where the different players' backstories are going to come crashing together in this grand conspiracy that I have set up. So what I'm doing right now is I'm creating the bits of lore that the players can find. That will hint at this massive conspiracy in different angles and different aspects. Without them, the idea is, without them being able to see the greater whole, they'll each be invested in the parts of the story that are related to their own backstory, to their own character. And then if they work together and put those pieces together, they can start to see the grand design. Thanks a lot, no screen name. Now I have that image in my head. Okay. So what do we know about the Forgotten? Right, we have the Hollowing. This is all information related to the Forgotten. But the Forgotten are actually kind of a servant of two masters, aren't they? Because they are, on my handy-dandy mind map that I created here. Ah, yes, they're followers of a dead god. They still worship the Obscure, but now they work for Gevok the Hollow. Now they work for Gevok the Hollow, but they used to be followers of the Obscure. And the Obscure was a god, or a godlike demon, who was slain in the Legend of Varankana. And the death of the Obscure. That's too long. I know what it is. Alright. Okay. So we need to answer these questions. Right? So in their basics, used to be followers of the Obscure, but were taken over by Gevok the Hollow after the death of the Obscure. This secretly, Gevok manipulated. So the Netheros are these puppet masters, right? They are in order to beat the gods, right? They have to keep their intent secret from the gods themselves. That's why they hide in that dimension that lies below, that demi-plane, and only come out when they have to manipulate events. So they manipulate things behind the scenes, and they're they're going to turn out to be behind everything. But there's going to be hints of this throughout, and hopefully it breaks the players' minds. So secretly, Gevok manipulated events so that Prince Varankana learned the secret to destroy the Obscure. So that he could take over the cult. Maybe the cult and their demi-plane. Maybe they are the ones who are masters of keeping things secret, of being forgotten. And so that has been an important tool in the Netheros plan to forge an eternal empire. You have now entered the Twilight Zone. Hi there, Game Master's Vault. How you doing? Oh, Lost in Fiction X. Thank you so much for following. I didn't see that 8 minutes ago. But thank you. You are awesome. Hola, nerds. Indeed, Game Master's Vault. I've got to figure out how to, like, set up a thing so that it has, you know, it plays some big fancy thing when somebody follows, so that I don't miss it. Or cheers, like Yoshers did. Thank you again. Alright. Secretly give Aqua manipulate the defense of the Prince of Ancana. Learn the secrets of... Okay. And their demi-plane. This demi-plane of secrets set up or created by a godlike demon of secrets has been a vital tool in the Netheros plan. I hate demi-planes, prefer real planes. Oh yeah, is that so, Game Master's Vault? Doesn't it have something to do with just, like, size? You're a plane snob? And Phil Screening, of course, prefers airplanes. Very true. Where was I? Sorry about that noise. I was just letting my wife know that I'm going a little extra time streaming tonight. Alright. Say hi from us. Okay. She says, hello. She says, please PM me any secrets Bella should know. She, my wife, plays Bella Endorol, the bard, the half-elf bard, whose father is one of the great bards, and who are also key to the Netheros developing plan. So, alright, bits of info about the Forgotten. Oh wait, what else? What else are they involved in? The Blight Tribe. They are allies of the Blight Tribe. I've decided that the Blight Tribe is a cult dedicated to Zuchtmoin, which is a demon in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes that is fungus-themed, mushroom-themed. And we have a Circle of Spores druid who knows about the Blight Tribe, so I think that I'm going to put that as a factor into the game. The Forgotten... The Forgotten... If the Great Unmaking was used to kill the Obscure, why would the Forgotten be friends of the Great Unmaking? Only possible reason is because they don't know. There are secrets that even the Forgotten do not know. So Gavok really manipulated them. Whew. It's kind of chilling. And they are enemies of the Thief Kings. Don't know why that would be yet, but maybe I'll figure that out right now. Allies of the Blight Tribe. And pushed by Gavok to develop their own Great Unmaking ritual with the Void Cap mushroom that only grows gorse. That only grows on the spot. It only grows on the death place of a god. They believe it to be sacred to the obscure, not knowing the true history. I like that. I like that. Alright. This is turning out to be just like when I develop a mystery adventure. First, you develop the real story, and then develop the apparent story. Oh! If you gotta go, though, just leave the hat and the stream going. We just came for the hat anyway. Noted, Game Master's Vault. The man with no screen name says, "We swear we're not making him do stuff you wouldn't approve of, Mrs. Porter." I'm going to copy that and send it to her. The Blight Tribe is too Morrowindish? It is? There was something about a blight in that game. Was there something literally called the Blight Tribe in Morrowind? I don't recall. It's a cool name. My wife says she squints and says, "I don't trust a man without a screen name." So, I don't know what that, you know, there you go. Okay, so they fight the Thief Kings. Why do they fight the Thief Kings? and are the members of the Scarred Earth cult. If the Swordwings fought members of the Scarred Earth cult and then were converted into members of the Forgotten, that was a pretty crazy battle. Maybe Gevok manipulated that into occurring. He is with both of them because he wanted to replenish members of the Forgotten. That would make sense. Oh, but I didn't answer my question. Gevok the Hollow's gift to followers of the Obscure, replenishing their ranks to increase their power and therefore his own. Maybe the Thief Kings. Maybe the Thief Kings fight the Great Unmaking somehow. Or maybe the Thief Kings I like that. Because the large organization of bandits and thieves has a history of stymieing the Great Unmaking and stealing the Void Cap mushroom from its caretakers. Mushrooms from its caretakers, the Blight Tribe. Excellent. Getting a nice little network of complicated relationships here. Just the right amount of complicated, I think. All right. So that's the real story. Masters of secrecy in the tradition of their dead god, the Obscure. Alright. Lore pieces. DC... There is no DC 10 with these guys. In fact, she only got info about them. On like a 20 or something. So I'm going to start at DC 20 and go up from there. The Hollowing was a... I'm just going to copy this. The Scarred Earth Cult, where Dead Swordwings. So this would make sense as the easiest piece of info because the Swordwings are a noble knightly order, at least supposedly. And so they keep, you know, good records. They keep a history of their events. Mushroom Caretakers? So Telvanni Chans. I don't think I played Morrowind enough times to get all these references. I did like it, though. But there's only a handful of video games that I've played like a million times. And Morrowind was one of them. Those again, but changed. And they were converted to members of an organization called The Forgotten. Okay, so this would be good because this would be in a book about battles. Men and Knights. Armies of Despair. I like Armies of Despair. Something about knights. The Benighted Knight. A primer on great battles of history. I haven't put author names for these books, but I think for the most part... How about... by Rognick. By Sir Rognick, who's a Swordwing. Let no more be said. This, what is said of this terrible defeat of the Swordwings? And even the noble Decio could not save all of our brave knights. As long as some gets/cringes, the joke has deployed its payload as intended. Or at least that's what I tell myself. Alright. DC... I don't have a year for this. I'll have to ask my player about when she thinks Sir Rognik was active. DC 25. So this is if this were a mystery adventure, what I'm doing right now is the apparent story. So I had the actual story, which is these paragraphs up here, very short, very not really explaining everything fully because I know what I'm talking about. And then these lore pieces are the apparent story that I'm actually going to show to players if they do well on their history checks. Or research history. Successfully at the library. Should probably give them advantage for that. Or I'll give them advantage if they get access to the restricted section. And put up with commentary from the librarians. DC 25. I like Savior Without Honor. It's a cool title. Has a short entry in the midst of a detailed. Sometimes when you describe things as boring, then the players get bored. I don't want to take that risk. In the midst of a detailed battle tactics analysis. It reads... Savior Without Honor is a dramatic novelization of historical events. It has a chapter detailing... it has a chapter where the swashbuckling lovable thief main characters are barely escape with their lives after being chased through... I forgot the most important question here, which is where's the next clue? I need to go back and add that. That's really important. That's really important. Oh boy. Where is the next clue? Hello? More on this subject could perhaps be found in the annals of the Whispering, the Sanctum of Whispers. Alright. I think that's enough there because there is already a place she can go to get more information on them. So it's that would just be one additional location. This one, however, called the Forgotten, who haunt battle tactics analysis in swamps and ruins. Ah! How did I even do that? After being chased through the swamps of Varan Kana by the Blight, by savages called the Blight Tribe. Only to be nearly caught by cultists called the Forgotten. And then finally, DC 30. I could go higher than DC 30. I don't feel the need to right now. I'm not sure it's even realistic. That without additional access even beyond this magic library, that, you know, a DC 30 could be made. Something higher than that could be made. It is a good library, but has its limits. I feel like something higher than 30, like 35 or 40, it's like, at that point you need the library off the material plane, even. Alright, well, I'm going to write one more, and then I'm closing up for the night here. One more bit of lore here. That's a location. Scarred Earth Cult. in a swamp like this. In a dreadful swamp. Alright. The Forgotten. Okay. DC 30. Screams in Technology. Spider of the South. Giant of Time. How about Forbidden Deaths? Obscure grimoire whose pages need to be turned with care lest they turn to dust. Written in Elvish, has an entry on a dead god, or a dead demon, or god of secrets, of secrecy, called the Obscure, one of the Dark Six. His cult was called the Forgotten. But after he was destroyed by Prince Varankana, the cult found a new master. Excellent. All right. Well, I think that's it for tonight. So I will bid you all a good evening. Thank you so very much to the Man with No Screen Name, to Game Master's Vault, to Yashers, to Lion Nation, to Lost in Fiction X, who followed as well. Thank you all so very, very much. Thanks to anyone who comes by and watches this later. You are also totally awesome. Unless you're one of my players, in which case you're not awesome. You have spoiled things for yourself. In any case, have a good night, folks. Thank you so much. And you're very welcome, Man with No Screen Name. Bye-bye.